Hello, I am Alucard Wesker here, once again with... Introduce yourself.
Okay. Adam Noyce from Adam Noyce.
Adam Noyce from Adam Noyce. Alucard Wesker from Alucard Wesker. Alright, that works.
That works.
Alright, today we're going to be doing the battle everybody wants, because haven't been hyping it up enough. Destroyah versus Bagan. Crowd in the background, yay.
Yay! The two Godzilla super monsters battling it out.
Right? Seriously, everybody seems to be arguing for one or the other.
Yep.
Alright, so, Adam, you start us off.
Okay. Well, I've got Bagan. Bagan is a monster. His height is unknown since he hasn't been in any Godzilla movies. His weight is 280,000 tons. He doesn't have any allies. He's definitely a major enemy of Godzilla, and Godzilla is definitely his arch nemesis. Not too much to say.
No. Though I think he would be around Destroyah's height.
That's what I was thinking too, which is definitely Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Destroyah was 320 feet tall or something like that. So that makes Destroyah probably around 380. So, yeah, he probably would have been somewhere around Destroyah's height.
Alright, so for our own sake, we'll just say they're about eye level.
They're about eye level, yep. Yep.
Alright, well, Destroyah, he has many sizes, but the only two I'm probably going to be using during the fight are the 60 meter tall, 40 meter long aggregate, and the 120 meter tall and 230 meter long final form.
The one that looks like the devil.
Well, essentially, yes.
Oh my god.
The aggregates are around 1,500 tons, and the final form is around 8,000 tons. And he's made quite a few enemies during his long reign of terror.
Like Anguirus in one of the comic books.
I was rather infuriated to see the weakest one attacking and beating Destroyah, but we'll just kind of put that off to the side. Sorry, people, technical difficulties. Anyway, you were talking about the comic, Adam?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you said that you didn't really like that Destroyah got beat by one of the weaker of the Godzilla monsters. I actually didn't mind it because it was very much an underdog story. I mean, Super DM and Kaiju Noir brought this up in their review of the comic, and I very much so agreed with them. If I was there, I would have basically said the same thing as them, is that it was good in the sense that this is an underdog story. We basically have the weakest of Godzilla's allies versus the strongest of Godzilla's enemies. And the only reason why Anguirus won was because he used his mind a lot more than Destroyah. I thought that was good. I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
I thought that actually backtracked on Destroyah's character, because I got a real sense of intelligence from him from the movie.
Oh, from the movie? Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, in the comic it seemed more like a brute.
This is true. But, you know,
that's neither here nor there, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you want to go through your history on Bagan?
Yeah, sure. A brief history on Bagan. Where do I start? He wasn't in any Godzilla movie, in case you guys haven't noticed. He was in Super Godzilla, the video game, which I have never played because I'm not a gamer. And, let's see, he was originally supposed to be in The Return of Godzilla as a shapeshifter, but that is not the one we're talking about. We're talking about the one that he was supposed to be in Godzilla vs. Bagan, which was eventually replaced by Godzilla vs. Destroyah. He was intended to fight the King of Monsters and even perhaps the Gotengo, and he was supposed to be the strongest of Godzilla's enemies, for that was still going to be the last Godzilla film, but unfortunately it was never made. But he did appear as the final boss in Super Godzilla, and he does kick some ass. So not much to say. Not much to say about Bagan's backstory because it is so all over the place. But he was definitely supposed to be the strongest, if not one of the strongest, if not the strongest of the Godzilla opponents.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
All right, Destroyah. Oh my God, he has so much bigger history. All right, here's the fast version. Done.
Done. Exactly.
All right, so back in '54, Dr. Serizawa used his oxygen destroyer. What he didn't know was he accidentally mutated some prehistoric creatures that were hibernating, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
They woke up and were unleashed through some drilling in 1995. They attacked a local aquarium where they started eating and growing from their juvenile forms, which they attacked. I think it was an apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was, but SWAT team was sent in.
It was part of like the industrial complex of something. I don't know, but it was definitely a complex.
Looked like a big office building.
Something. I don't know. That was badass.
Either way, the SWAT team was sent into the scary basement, and they all had 2 days before they were retiring.
Yep.
The Destroyer continued to grow, but they figured out Destroyer's weakness was extreme cold and extreme heat. So they figured out the military's freezer weapons, which they had been using thus far on burning Godzilla, would be effective on Destroyer. They attacked all the creatures, and it seemed to be working, but Destroyah, overcoming its own little weaknesses, decided to merge into one aggregate. Destroyah continued to fight until it ran into Junior Godzilla, who was in turn luring Burning Godzilla. Junior actually managed to win the battle against Destroyah, throwing him into a power plant. Destroyah, gaining an incredible amount of energy from the power plant, turned into his super satanic form.
Yep.
And Destroyah rather sadistically killed Junior in front of Godzilla. Godzilla went super FU mode and started attacking Destroyah. Destroyah actually appeared to be winning the battle most of the time, until Godzilla started melting down. Destroyah decided to hightail it out of there, but the military stopped him, sending him plummeting to the ground, quote-unquote killing him. Personally, I prefer the deleted ending, where Destroyah gets back up, and Godzilla starts sucker-punching him. And then Destroyah dies. The end.
I personally prefer the one that they want to go with the movie because it made Godzilla's death more dramatic, but whatever, to each their own. But yeah, Destroyah is rather badass.
I mean, I really do enjoy the movie ending because, hell, it made me cry when I was 5.
It still makes me cry. There's two scenes in movie history that will always make me cry. It is Godzilla's death in this movie and the death of Spock in Star Trek 2. Okay?
I believe we went over this in our top 5 favorite Godzilla movies. Wow, I'm having some deja vu. Well, in any case, I like the alternate ending better because when I grew to appreciate Destroyah, and I also wanted to see Godzilla go down fighting rather than just standing around kind of...
I mean, yeah, I love that deleted scene. Don't think I don't. It's just I completely understand why Okawara wound up going with the alternate ending, the one where Godzilla dies on his own.
Right. All right, now that we got our histories out of the way, how about you display your Kaiju's abilities?
Well, they're all over the place. So I'm just going to do the one from Super Godzilla.
Right.
That's the one that most people know. Let's see. The one in Super Godzilla, his ability to slash at enemies with his claws, slasher claws. He also performs something called a Diamond Storm, in which he can shoot white star-like objects from his frontal horn, or from his either frontal horns or all of his horns. I can't remember, but anyways, it's badass. He also fires a white plasma beam from his mouth and generates a force field to he fires the plasma beam out, but he also fires but he also creates a force field to block incoming attacks. They were definitely the strongest enemy you had to fight in Super Godzilla, without a doubt. It takes a lot of maneuvering, apparently, to take him down. But those are his main powers. Some of his other powers is apparently he can regenerate. He also has a harder exoskeleton on his legs and arms, and so therefore it's much harder for any monster to penetrate. It's not like Godzilla, who has flesh and then bone. This monster has an exoskeleton.
Kind of like a xenomorph.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. That's really all I can. Yeah.
Well, understandably, it was a game, so he had to have some limited abilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically it on Bagan.
Yeah, the only way he was able to be taken down was if Godzilla morphed into Super Godzilla to defeat Bagan.
Right, I will get to Super Godzilla later, but first I think it's time to showcase the devil. Destroyah.
Yeah, right. Sorry, wait, there's a difference?
Is there?
Is there? I don't know. Because every time I picture the devil, I don't picture the one that people usually paint with the horns. I usually picture Destroyah.
True. God, that monster left an imprint on us all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and also about Bagan's healing factor. I'm thinking it's more like Godzilla's.
Yeah, it's a regenerating thing.
Right, Organizer G1.
Yeah.
Really. Alright, Destroyah's abilities. Alright, well, in case you haven't noticed, Destroyah is basically a cactus. He has, like, all sorts of horns everywhere, and his claws are, like, super evil. Oh my god. Destroyah has a pincer tail, which allows him to sap energy out of his opponents. Kind of like Megaguirus. Destroyah has his micro-oxygen breath, which appears to be very powerful enough to knock over Burning Godzilla. He has his horn katana, which is able to easily slice through Godzilla. He has like all sorts of like little needle-sharp teeth, which I'm pretty sure gives him a very pleasant bite. Destroyah is able to break himself down on the microscopic level to heal fatal injuries, as well as to rearrange himself into a small army if he chooses so. The little aggregate forms have claws up the wazoo, and they love crawling everywhere.
Yeah, basically, their powers, they're able to swarm.
Basically, they also have their own little micro-oxygen sprays.
Yeah.
And one thing the aggregates do have, they have the second mouth so they can inject micro-oxygen and suffocate their enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Destroyah also has the power of flight. He's able to fly pretty fast considering his size. I'm guessing about Mach 2, considering Mechaghidorah flies a bit faster. So I'm gauging Destroyah about Mach 2, Mach 3.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Well, of course, he also has his super weapon in his chest, but that was actually never used, so I won't actually use that.
Yep.
Oh, there's also one more thing. Rather than just his micro-oxygen breath, if he concentrates it, he can turn into basically pure oxygen destroyer. Basically, he's something you don't want to meet in the dark alley.
No. Not at all.
I'm pretty sure even Satan from Dante's Inferno is going, whoa, dude. Can I hire you?
I know most people feature, when people say it, they picture the devil from like pictures painted and stuff like that. I seriously picture Destroyah every single time somebody says the devil. I always picture Destroyah every single time.
This actually reminds me of the Family Guy thing. Here's a picture of the regular devil. Here's a picture of the super devil.
Here's a picture of the real devil. It's Destroyah.
Well, both of them are very powerful. They both stand about height as eye level.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they're both very equal in terms of their height and size, and basically their powers even. I mean, the only thing downfall for Bagan really is that he can't fly.
Yeah, that's how I think Destroyah is mainly going to thrash him.
Yeah, that's going to be Destroyah's number one advantage over Bagan, though it also depends on how smart Bagan would be, because Bagan also has never been in a Godzilla movie or anything before, so we've never really seen him in action.
Right. During the games, he seemed more of the brutish type.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of gathering too, just by looking at his design and shit.
And given the size of his skull, I wouldn't say he has a very large brain.
Well, who knows? You know, I mean, I say that something that Bagan definitely will have over Destroyah is that Bagan can regenerate, or he can basically kind of heal himself, kind of like Godzilla.
True, but Godzilla's healing abilities is slower than Destroyah's.
This is true, and also Bagan also has a major he has a force field around him that can block quite a few of Destroyah's attacks.
Right, most of Bagan's weaker points happen to be bits and flesh between his neck and chest.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Bagan really doesn't have that many points that you can really attack it, but if Destroyah was to harp on it, he could definitely win. Which I'm pretty sure Destroyah was, because Destroyah exploited Godzilla's weaknesses like there's no tomorrow.
Well, yeah. And he showed a real high level of being a real sadistic
asshole.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Dragging Godzilla all around, just basically toying with him.
Yeah. I mean, if you really look at the designs of both monsters, they look absolutely evil. There is no level of good to these monsters at all. I mean, some people said that with Batra, and I'm like, no, I could see some good coming out of Batra. And
Hey, look, he has gold.
Look, he has gold. No, both of these monsters really just have a freaking evil presence to them, and that's exactly what they were supposed to be. These monsters were not supposed to be good guys at all. And so basically you have two giant monsters who don't give a fuck about what they're doing, duking it out in the middle of somewhere to the death. So this isn't going to be a very pretty battle.
Let's put them in Tokyo.
Let's put them right in the middle of a metropolitan area.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Truly, I think the one thing that might be able to get through Bagan's force field is Destroyah's horn katana.
Well, if Destroyah can get close enough, but I mean, also remember, Bagan can do that too, with his claws.
Bagan's close. I know they're strong enough to get through Godzilla's flesh, but I'm not entirely sure.
Basically, what Bagan can do with his claws is what Destroyah does with his horns.
Right, but also, be honest, look at Bagan's arms. They're kind of small. Destroyah gets more leverage with the horn, I think.
He does. Destroyah definitely has a leverage over Bagan with the horn. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you look at Destroyah's armor, it's more crustacean-like, so there are gaps to allow movement, and I'm pretty sure that's the only place where Bagan can actually attack.
Mm-hmm.
Or his soft center.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's where Godzilla got him. That's where Godzilla got him good. It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound. You ain't got a bleeding arm left. Yes, I have.
You'll be stone dead in any minute. No, I'm not. I wonder how well Destroyer's little crablets would fare against
I
Bagan.
think Bagan would basically own their asses, just like Godzilla kind of did.
Yeah. Destroyer's probably not going to get too many hits in by turning
He's
himself.
not going to get too many hits in with the larvae form, because I mean, let's face it, the only reason why the larvae form formed in Godzilla vs. Destroyer to attack Godzilla is because they're basically giving the adult Destroyer a little bit more time to basically gather himself together. That's really
That was the idea.
Yeah, it was just to buy the final form of Destroyer more time. So I mean, I think Destroyer would probably want to be using that same technique against Bagan.
I think so. He would probably spam that.
Though I still think Bagan would simply do what Godzilla did and just totally kick ass anyways, but...
True. And it did end up, it did serve confusing the crap out of Godzilla.
It did, yeah.
Destroy, then fly in, yeah. Not to mention, when you really think about it, Destroyer was only defeated because both of his extreme weaknesses were exploited.
Yes, this is very true. This is very, very true.
While Bagan was strong enough to actually take on Super Godzilla, I would have to say Burning Godzilla is slightly stronger. It's kind of like, I don't know, for all the DBZ fans, it's comparing Bills with Goku. You have one character that they're like both almost equal, but one's slightly stronger.
Yeah.
You've never seen DBZ, have you?
No, I have never.
Okay, I don't blame you. So, I'm trying to think of another fight. Well, no, you haven't gone to Naruto yet either.
No.
And you haven't gotten into Hellsing yet. Alright, well, people of those fandoms already know what I'm talking about there, but anyway,
this is true.
One's going to be slightly stronger. And personally, I think Burning Godzilla's stronger because he went all out. He was just walking around and the city was exploding.
There is no topping Burning Godzilla in anything. Like, Super Godzilla's not even that strong.
No. Unless you had Super Burning Godzilla.
I think the universe would die. The universe would literally die.
Like, it's exactly as James the Nintendo Nerd prophesized. And he's going to take the whole universe with him. Pretty extreme. Personally, I think there's one thing Destroyah could do, but the powers of the director stopped him from doing it. He can mimic the Oxygen Destroyer perfectly if he wanted to, breaking himself down on a tiny level and then forcing his opponent to breathe him in.
Yeah, Destroyah definitely also has that advantage.
I would think that would be the fatality.
Well, I mean, you said the director ultimately chose not to do that. They hint at it throughout the entire thing, but let's face it, they just could not do it with the tiny budget that they had on the movie. So.
Well, yeah, that would have killed Godzilla. So. You can't have, like, a whole Mothra versus Degarla thing again.
Yeah, which is funny was that script for that was supposed to be the one for Mothra versus Bagan.
Yeah,
Except they just
I would have loved to see Bagan in that better.
I still would have hated that movie. Oh my god, I hate that movie so much.
Honestly, they're kind of more oriented towards children, but
oh, yeah.
At least the Ghidorah forms are good.
Frickin' Rebirth of Mothra 3 is excellent, but Rebirth of Mothra 2... is horrible. Rebirth of Mothra 1 I can tolerate, but Rebirth of Mothra 2 was just so bad.
Right. I mean, seriously, carrying around a Furby.
I know, and that thing wasn't even cute. It was the most disturbing, scary-looking creature ever. It was...
Oh my god, I gotta review those movies.
I was more frightened of that little tiny creature than I was of the frickin' bad monster.
I probably was more frightened of that than I was Death Ghidorah, which is the son of Destroyah and Ghidorah.
Yes.
Think about it, folks.
Think about it. Exactly. Think about it.
It actually took me a few times to realize that Des Ghidorah's roar was actually a different pitch of Destroyah's.
It was? Oh my god, I didn't know that.
listen to it.
Okay.
And then listen to Destroyah.
Yeah.
It's close.
Also, I have to give the Rebirth of Mothra series credit to making my favorite version in terms of looks of King Ghidorah. So,
oh, yes, Grand Ghidorah.
Grand Ghidorah just looks beautiful.
I love how he just takes down Mothra in seconds.
He does. He owns that bitch.
I'm like, finally. Well, now.
Okay, let's get back to Bagan versus Destroy.
Yes, I think we've gotten off topic enough.
Yep.
Almost like your World War G4.
Oh my god. Well, no, we never really went off topic too much in that. We always wound up going right back to Godzilla, but...
I was talking about beforehand when I was talking about my french fries on fire.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Rage quit. Well, I personally think that this would be a very good movie if this was ever made.
It'd be interesting fan fiction.
True. I gotta get my best writers on it.
It'd make a great comic book. Matt Frank, take note.
Oh, God, that would have been great.
It would be a great comic book.
I saw a bit of art he did. What was it? It was a Destroyah POV of him fighting Godzilla 2000.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I mean, I don't think this would necessarily make a good movie. It would make a great comic book.
True. Because we all know comics is where, like, OP survives.
Exactly.
How do you think Superman got his start? And he's OP as all sorts of hell.
So, who do you...
Personally, I think Destroyah would win.
Personally, I think Destroyah would win too. I mean, Jesus Christ. Destroyah is like the anti-Godzilla. He is the anti-everything. And I mean, something else that I think Destroyah has above Bagan, way above Bagan, is that for some reason, monsters that are born from something else tend to be a lot more powerful. Look at Godzilla. Godzilla was born from the atomic bomb. Destroyah was born from the oxygen destroyer. So that's another huge level that I think it's one of the more interesting levels that Destroyah has above Bagan, because Bagan's just a monster. Let's just face it, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, Bagan's a chimera, that's about it.
Yeah, he's a chimera, that's it. While Destroyah is to what Godzilla was to the atom bomb, to the oxygen destroyer.
Destroyah is a BOW, bioorganic weapon. He's designed for everything.
He's designed for everything. That's exactly what Destroyah is. Destroyah is, in my opinion, he will always be my favorite Godzilla enemy because he is the anti-Godzilla. He is the complete opposite of what Godzilla is. Or at least in Heisei continuity. He's also just plain old goddamn evil. I mean, the fact that he kills Godzilla's son, the only basic thing that's keeping Godzilla rooted, the only thing that Godzilla could call, his kin, his family, and Destroyah just kills him.
There goes your redemption arc. I hope you like the past two movies.
Not that, Destroyah didn't even have a really big reason to kill Junior. The only reason why Destroyah winds up killing Junior is to really piss Godzilla off. True.
And to add insult to injury, he drags Godzilla around, dumps him in the water.
Right. Oh my god. I mean, Bagan is a really strong enemy. Don't ever think that I'm not saying that. Bagan is definitely one of the stronger of the Godzilla enemies, hands down. But he just doesn't have that level of evilness that I think Destroyah has.
Pure sadism.
Yeah. Destroyah's one fucked up cookie. And
Destroyah is the dentist of the Godzilla enemies. Full on Steve Martin song.
Oh man, yeah, I really honestly think Destroyah would wind up winning this. It'd be a pretty even fight for a long time, but I think it would wind up coming down to Destroyah.
Yeah, and he has the healing factor to spam, and he is the oxygen destroyer.
He is the oxygen destroyer, exactly.
You have Serizawa pop up here. There you go. Suddenly, Bagan skeleton.
Oh, man. The fight would be entertaining. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that.
Oh, no, it would be great.
It would be fantastic. But the Destroyer would still win. Somebody needs to do this shit.
I'm fairly certain everybody that rooted for Bagan on Toho Kingdom will personally come to crucify us.
Oh, well. I get plenty of hate mail as it is.
Oh, don't worry. I still have nails in my hands from the last battle.
Yay.
Well, there you have it, folks. Destroyah is the winner.
Yep. I don't personally. I don't see this as how the hell could that come as a surprise to anybody? Because one, Destroyah is the ultimate Godzilla enemy. He is. I mean, you can say that King Ghidorah is the arch nemesis to Godzilla.
Yes.
But you will say that Destroyah is the ultimate enemy.
Right. Trying to think of something to compare him to, from another series, maybe. Oh, well. Wait, if you're not a Godzilla fan, why are you watching this video? Go, shoo.
Go, shoo. Get out of here. And if you are just a new noob in terms of Godzilla fan, well, good for you.
Go watch Godzilla vs. Destroyah. If you don't, we will find you.
We will find you, and we will kill you.
I do have Oxygen Destroyer prototypes. We can test them.
Oh my god.
Alright, What do you think I should do for my next battle, though?
I don't know.
I don't know yet. I literally have an infinite number of kaiju, but I don't know. I'm thinking Godzilla clones. It's a toss-up between Biollante, Space Godzilla, and Orga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to see any of those fight it out?
Well, that kind of sucks because I am in love with any kind of kaiju battle. So you're kind of asking the wrong guy.
I'll probably just ask Toho Kingdom. Unless, of course, that one really insane Mothra fan just throws in Mothra as an option and that just gets spammed.
Exactly. Though I just want to say, Jet Jaguar all the way.
I'm like, he's not even an option. Robot Jack Nicholson. Come on, tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. You're not. Or King Kong in a robot suit, according to the Germans.
True. Wait, oh god. I got a visual of Jet Jaguar walking up to Godzilla and going, "That's why. Number one." Tell me that's not awesome. Oh, God. God, you haven't laughed that hard in a while, have you?
I must get this statement. That's why.
Oh my god, I have to make a meme of that. I gotta find a picture of Jet Jaguar with Godzilla. Oh god.
So that's it, folks. Jet Jaguar is awesome.
Oh god, yep, Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar will kick any kaiju's butt.
Alright, let's go.